Japan. Tokyo, Japan. Oh, I had a time. Man, I always wanted to go to Japan since I was a kid. Being into anime, liking sushi, ramen. Yeah. Especially when my homeboys were like, yo, you have to come on this trip with us. At first I was like, nah, I don't know, there's a lot of stuff going on. And I'm glad that the peer pressure worked because as soon as them prices were looking right, man, I booked that shit, hopped on the next flight, and I was out. Day one, boom. 4-hour flight from DFW to San Fran, an 11-hour flight from San Fran to Tokyo. Getting there, landed, going through customs, had my QR code, pre-entry, scan, smooth. Train navigation, had no idea what I was doing. Subtitles, could not see them. There were no subtitles. Went to Google Maps and started navigating the trains. Information is laid out in a way that's pretty clear. It's different from the States, so I can see why it could cause a bit of confusion or getting used to. But, once you realize the information that is displayed and how it is presented to you, it's actually a lot easier. Got on the train, headed to Ikebukuro. Some parts that I was confused at, I was able to ask the dude right next to me. I was just like, yo, oh man, like, where am I supposed to get off? And it was just like, if I show him, Google Translate, because I don't speak Japanese. And bro starts counting. It's like 1, 2, 3, 3 stops, Ikebukuro. And I was just like, arigato gozaimasu. So when my stop came, I hopped off, and I was just like, see you, man. Then I got to my location. I got to the destination. We ended up meeting up when I got to the crib. And we went out for some ramen. And bro, that shit bust. And you anywhere near Ikebukuro, go to that spot, bro. That shit was 10 out of 10. That's that shit Naruto was eating, bro. 2 weeks has passed, and I'm still thinking about it. I'm not gonna lie. I need to go back. So it was at this point, our homeboy Trey just landed. And we were like, you know what, fuck it, what we finna get into? We end up going to a Japanese game room / karaoke bar. So we go to the top, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, yo, this ain't a typical game room. This is not like your typical arcade. This is a casino. This is damn near a gambler's paradise. just hidden as a game room. You got Mario Kart right here, and you got niggas playing poker and all that shit right here, and you got niggas betting on digital virtual horse races. Like all of that shit going on in the same location. And I can see how you get addicted. I even had a homeboy once who was stuck in one of those places for 18 hours. Bro came out, it was a whole new year. Like, I can see how you get trapped in them. We hopped on the Mario Kart, we did our little 1s and 2s. Of course, I won. Like, is that even a question? They were showing me this other one that was just like so multifaceted. I'm just like, yo, why is this so complicated? The shit was basically jackpot. It was the coin game that you see at Chuck E. Cheese's, the sweeper, the one that pushes, and roulette all in one. And I'm just like, yo, first you have to play the coin game to sweep all the coins in. And if you sweep enough coins in, you get a chance to enter in a jackpot. Then you get a golden ball, and that golden ball comes around and spins. And if it lands in, the winning hole, then you win, and then you get a chance to play another one with another giant ball, a crystal ball, and that ball, once it gets in this place, that's when you win. I'm just like, bro, what the hell is going on at this point? After we had our time in the game room, we ended up deciding to relax with some karaoke. Nah, we weren't doing no relaxing.
Quarter to 6, I love the fuck on a regular bitch. Famous hoes lame, but they stay on my dick.
After karaoke, we wrap it up for the night, and then we head back to the crib, and that's pretty much the end of day one. Now, day two, on this day, we hitting the fish market. Bro, the fish market, why are you hitting the fish market? Okay, my fault. We're hitting the fish auction. Okay, that's not really answering any questions. Well, we're in Tokyo, we're in Japan. You know how these people do. They're real particular with their stuff. Restaurants in the city, they go to the fish auction, and they start bidding on the freshest, most premium caught fish. That way, they can serve their patrons. And if you're trying to get some high-quality sushi, high-quality fish, this is where you gotta go. We're making our trek over there. We first start off the morning with hitting the convenience store. That's where I get my breakfast. Some Boss coffee and Ghana chocolate. So, I had to get the energy up. I don't drink coffee, but in Tokyo I would. So we hit that convenience store. We end up taking a bus, and then we go to the... I kind of got it. Hold on. Give me a second. I'll be right back. Let me get it real quick. We're going to go into the... Yeah, I don't know if y'all can see it. The Toyosu Toyosu Fish Market. Nah, this spot, it had a whole building, literally just dedicated to fish, and not even a whole building, like a warehouse-sized building, dedicated to fish. It's insane. We're walking through. We weren't able to go to the actual floor. And that's crazy. That's how serious it is over there. You need special clearance. Regular tourists couldn't just walk down there and just go see what's happening. You need a clearance just to go down there and see at a fish market, right? We're walking through. We're looking at different sushi shops inside, and then we're trying to see which one's the best, which one we should go to. And my experience at sushi, I don't know if I could do that anymore. That sushi it was good. It's fresh. It was like, we had an assortment in front of us. We had salmon, we had tuna, we had urchin, we had eel, we had roe, all of that. That fish was probably alive a couple hours ago. That bro was alive. Them chefs, they know what they're doing. When they're cutting up that fish, they know how they cut it up. It's just fresh. That's the best way I could put it. It's fresh. It melts in your mouth. It was good. It was on point. So after sushi, we ended up going to Team Labs. And this is my first experience going to it. I have never been to a immersive museum. If you're from Houston, you know about seismic, you know about color factor and stuff like that, but this does not compare. We ended up getting in. We did what we had to do. They told us to take off our shoes and then enter in and immerse ourselves. Bro, that experience is nice. It's one thing to see art, but it's another thing to be in art.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
And I know that sounds very pretentious, like, bro, what are you talking about? But when you're walking through the museum, you're experiencing all the art forms, the water is touching you, the lights are like right in your face. There was one room that I walked in and I was just getting disoriented because of just how everything was just flowing around. It's really immersive. And if you haven't been, I do recommend adding that to a spot on your list to go check out. If I was to say my favorite room, the lights, of course, the ones hanging from the ceiling, as well as area that had me questioning reality. Yeah, that was live. So Team Lab Planets, dub. After that, we ended up heading back to the B&B and then changing up because, you know, we're about to go out and do some shopping. You know, we came to Tokyo. I'm trying to get some new drip. Y'all seen how they dress? And when I'm talking about drip, I'm not even just talking about this like designer. I'm talking about the ability to just put on fits, silhouettes, style it, all of that. And I'm over here looking around and I'm just like, yo, even the grannies got drip. The little kids, they dressing up better than me. I'm getting outdressed by some little kids. And that's not even shade. That's just how well they dress out there. That's how well they style their clothes. It's nice, like every walk of life, you have from the businessman to college student to just like a factory worker to, like I said, the granny, the kids. Everyone has a way of their styling. And I'm just like, the whole time I was there, I was trying to piece, like, why is it so different from the States? Because, you know, you come to the States, you see people put on their clothes, but at home, it just kind of looked basic. And at first, I'm thinking, like, everyone just wears jeans and America is casual. But nah, it's literally over there is how they style it, how they put their pieces together, the proportions of the pieces, the outline, the silhouettes, the colors that they match, all of that come together. And they just know how to dress. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm glad I went because I picked up a few things from their styles, how they dress, how they put pieces together. First spot we go into is Gentle Monster. I didn't know about this, but it seemed like it was a sunglass boutique. A homeboy Matthew, he wanted some new glasses, so we went in. First thing we see is animatronic, realistic human faces. And I'm like, this is the only shit, this is the type of shit you see in Tokyo, Japan. You're not seeing this in the States. That was enough. When you walk into a store and you see that, we turn and we're over here, we seen a whole Street Fighter statue. And I'm just like, yo, that's all, you know, I had to take a photo in front of it. I had to feel like that's my stand, like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. If you watch JoJo, shouts out to you. Yeah, that shit was tough. So after we hit Gentle Monster, after we hit Bape, we ended up going to a store called Ibisu. Now, I know a little bit about it beforehand. I was seeing the logo all over the place, but it's my first time actually going inside, checking it around. It seems like they basically specialize in textiles and just, you know, denim. Of course, I ended up finding some pieces finally after walking around that whole area. Luckily, your boy ended up making a cop If you're trying to see what piece it was, go ahead, follow the IG. So the location that we were in when we were doing all this shopping is actually called Omotesando Hills. So if you ever go to Tokyo and you want a place to shop, hit this location up. It's basically a shopping center with a bunch of luxury high-end goods as well as thrifts. So if you're trying to get some Chrome Hearts, Prada, Vetements, all of those brands, definitely check them out. So after we hit Evisu, we were walking down the strip and I ended up seeing something that had the little jit in me geeking, the little kid, the little boy, an R34 GTR. And not just any R34 GTR, a Liberty Walk Bape Collab R34 GTR. And if you know, I know some people might be watching this, you're not a car person, you're probably just like, okay, it's just a regular car. But bro, if you know, that hoe was just seeing that was a mad thing. And not only was, like I said, it's not just a regular R34, that's already crazy enough on its own. It's also Liberty Walk. A little bit of history, Liberty Walk is an auto shop based in Tokyo, and they specialize in just doing body kits. It had me geeked. And seeing the crowd that would just like stand and then come around and just look at it, yeah, I knew I wasn't the only one. We had to move on to meet the rest of the group. And while we're walking through, entering shops and that, we ended up, of course, we had to go into Supreme. Now this one, I couldn't really get too much footage. Most of these stores had a no recording policy because they wanted to keep the environment, the atmosphere as comfortable for the other shoppers, which I can respect. After we did some shopping, your boys, we kind of got a little bit hungry. So we went out to go eat. And the spot we went to is a Yukatsu shop. And if you don't know what that is, that's pretty much like Japanese beef. It's like Wagyu. We had some of that and it's coated in breadcrumbs. 10 out of 10. We'll recommend. After we got some food, it's Saturday night. What else we gonna do? I'm in a new country. I want to experience what nightlife is about. It's just the lights, the music, the performances as well. I'm over here, again, the type of club environment I'm used to is different from this. So when they had people on the stages dancing and performing, that shit just blew my mind. For $25, you got a free drink ticket. You had the choice of 4 to 5 different areas to go to, different music being played at each one, and every single one of them was a vibe. It was cool and met some cool people, enjoyed the night. So Warp, 10 out of 10. If you ever go, definitely fade. Of course, after we got out, it was late and it's past 12. And if you know, in Japan, after 12, the public transportation is basically over. So at this point, you either walking home or you can find a taxi. So from a taxi we were in Shinjuku area where Warp was, all the way back to Ikebukuro, that was 20 USD divided by the 4 people. So it was like 5 each. It wasn't that bad. And it was a smooth ride. And it's very funny because if you see Japanese cars, they're small on the outside compared to American cars. They're much smaller. Yet, however, don't be deceived. As soon as you enter inside, they're way more spacious than their American or foreign counterparts. It actually does not make any sense. I'm taller than most of the vehicles there. I can stand over and see the roof of these vehicles. Yet when I get inside, I'm 5'11". I have enough leg room. I got long ass legs. I can stretch my legs and just chill. So the taxis were cool. So we ended up getting back to our crib at, it was damn near 5 a.m. We were up, at least I was up for 24 hours on Saturday. Hell, I enjoyed every hour of it. So that basically wraps up day 2. Day 3, on the other hand, that one was a bit of a light day. First, we started off by going and visiting the shrine. Again, I'll put the details right there. We went to the shrine. The shrine was cool, but this is really the most touristy spot. Just most of the times you go to places like that, since it's very touristy, the prices are a bit more expensive. So if you want to go places, buy souvenirs, buy gifts and stuff like that, I would recommend, or at least personally, what I like to do is go to the more ducked off, more local areas and get souvenirs from over there versus, coming to these touristy spots where they know they're tourists. People are coming with money. they're going to be spending money. But outside of that, they're selling a bunch of things. So if you want a quick and easy place to get some goods or be able to say, hey, I got this from this shrine or this area, then go for it. When we went, it was cool. Despite the crowds, I still enjoyed myself. It was just like getting through, navigating, and then you get to walk up to a temple. This is my first time seeing full-on temple like that. You know, there's a few in Houston and stuff, but this is in Tokyo. It was nice, enjoyable, especially seeing the tower because of the structure. It being made out of wood. It's pretty impressive to see a wooden structure that tall. From the shrine temple, we ended up going to Akihabara. If you don't know, Akihabara is known for its anime figurines and collectibles. You know, yo, boy, I'm into anime. I even ended up picking up when we were in Akihabara, I ended up picking up this, if it focuses, Gojo's figurine. I know the lighting is a bit bright, so y'all might not be able, it's a bit overexposed. I ended up getting this figurine. Now, if you haven't seen season 2, what are you doing? Stop this video, go watch the second season. But yeah, it's a tough little figure that I bought. Ended up picking that up from Akihabara. Picked up a couple mangas and also books. It was a cool spot. It's basically a bunch of figurines, anime-related things that you'll see there. From Akihabara, we ended up actually going to a fancy dinner. So we ended up booking a reservation at this place a few weeks in advance to try out their Wagyu course. And we had a 10-course meal. I'm grateful for it because I got to try different types of flavor combinations. Had from their tea selection, trying out Wagyu. Because I recently, if you don't know, I recently got into steak. I didn't know much about steak for real. I recently tried it about a year ago. And I was like, okay, I don't really see what the hype is. But trying Wagyu, yeah, understandable. They served us lobster. They served us a bunch of stuff. I don't know. It was 10 courses. I enjoyed each and every one of the meals, especially having that experience tasting wine with my friends. It was a W. Especially shouts out to the chef, Matsumoto. He really took care of us. It was prepared the food well and even explained what it is. So, like, you know, for those who don't know, he gives a little bit of a lesson. After the dinner that we had, we ended up walking around and we decided on some last minute shit. Let's go to Tokyo Tower. So we went to Tokyo Tower. Unfortunately, we actually went there for robot battling. So they have this thing where you can put on the mech suits and then fight each other. That wasn't available. It was closed. Yeah, it was a pretty big disappointment on our part. We ended up doing this like VR racing, VR waterboat racing. That was cool. And another disappointment that followed up after that was the fact that we couldn't even get to the top of the tower. When we got there, they were like, yeah, the very top, the observation deck, that part is closed. However, we can take you to the top of the building because the way it's set up, there's a building right underneath the tower. We can go to the top of the building, but not the top of the tower. So we ended up accepting that. We were just like, fine, screw it. We'll end up going to the top of the building. Went to the top of the building. It was cool, nothing special. Obviously, I'm trying to see the horizons. So it was all right. However, though, we ended up finding a little loophole. We realized you can just take the escalator and go to actually the roof access of the building. And that's what we ended up doing. So we were there just looking around, taking photos. But eventually time was up. They came up and they were like, hey, you are not supposed to be here. So we had to pack it up and hold home. And that pretty much brings day 3 to the end. Like I said, there wasn't too much with day 3, but it was a nice, calm day. Got to experience the shrine, went to Akihabara. That dinner was bomb, 10 out of 10 experience. And then Tokyo Tower. Day 4. Day 4 is similar to day 3. We didn't really do too much. However, we ended up dedicating the day really to just shopping, buying souvenirs and gifts. I ended up getting a kimono and a couple other pieces for friends back at home, friends and family. Now is a great time for me to mention about the tax-free. First and foremost, the US dollar is much stronger than the Japanese yen. So things are already much cheaper. You're getting it at a 20-30% discount. On top of that, you're getting it for tax-free. So it is significantly cheaper to buy or purchase, go shopping over there than it is in the States. It's just, of course, getting to Tokyo is expensive. However, once you're there, shop out, ball out. Shopping was over with, and that leads us to the next part, the highlight of this trip, really, Mario Kart.
Stay with me.
tell, yeah, Mario Kart was a highlight. It wasn't technically Mario Kart, it's more like go-karts through the city. It feels damn near like Mario Kart with all the lights and the colors, and then you in the go-kart, you just moving around. It was definitely a great way to experience what the city of Tokyo is and has to offer. Highly recommend anybody to try that. After that go-kart experience, we kind of spent the night on the town. Tokyo has some great alleyways. I know in the States, again, going down an alleyway, probably not the smartest thing to do. But over there in Tokyo, the alleyways are cool. There's nice places for photos, as well as bars and food spots that you can hit. So we went out. We're going through some of the alleys. We're hitting the bars, hitting places for skewers and stuff like that. So the food, again, great part. Enjoyed it very much, to the point where we had almost too much food. We had way too much food. Day 5. Now, this is the day that most of the group already went home. There was just Trey and I, so we ended up getting our stuff and moving to a different B&B in Arakawa City. We went from there. That's when we put on our kimonos that we copped earlier in the week, and we were like, you know what, let's go on to the town, you know? Yeah, niggas in Paris, now you got niggas in Tokyo. After shopping at Don Quixote, we ended up going back to the B&B to get ready for our next excursion that we were going to, which is the Daikoku PA.
I bet my fuck up in there. Drip. Drip. I bet my fuck up in there. Acha, uno, more, kiba, can't stop. Ooh, singer, bear, bad, man, killer. Some move, some rock, some sip my liquor. Move, you, quick, kiba, girl, jazz, drop, quicker. Make a dance couple times, girl, I take my picture. I bet my fuck up in there.
This video is finally done. We made it to this part. Bro, appreciate you for taking the time to watch it. I've been editing this for the better part of a month. It almost got to the point where I was just like, man, I don't even want to continue. I want to see clips of this. Look at this. I'm still even trying to put it together. But you took your time, you clicked on this, and you watched it. And I hope you were entertained. I hope you enjoyed the little story, the trip, and adventures I went on. I don't know what the rest of the channel is going to hold, but hell, that's what it's for. Just for adventures and just random clips. It's just going to be, I guess, my digital footprint, my journey, and whatnot. But I hope you enjoyed. Shit, after spending 20 minutes watching this, I really hope you enjoyed. Don't forget, like, comment, share the video, help me out with the algorithms, and subscribe. But till next time, stay hydrated. Peace. All right, man. Now let me go find something to do.